Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to conclude my series of videos on Beatles solo B-sides. This is part 3 of 3. So in previous videos I did numbers 4 through 10, and here we are. Country Dream at number 4 down to I Don't Care Anymore at number 10. So now we get to the top 3, and at number 3 is the B-side of this single. This is the 12-inch 1979 Wings single, Goodnight Tonight, with a superb front cover from the video. And the B-side was Daytime, Nighttime Suffering, which Paul and Linda both over the years have said is one of their favourite tracks. I think it was a real shame it wasn't on the album. A real shame that they didn't make a video of it, considering they made a video of practically every song on the album for the TV special. So that, I mean, the pictures for the track are from the video for the A side, but there's no video. So anyway, it got to number 5 at the time, which was an improvement on the second and third singles from London Town, which only got to I don't think they even reached the top 40, unfortunately. So this was a big recovery, and unfortunately the singles from Back to the Egg didn't do too well. But this is one of Wings' best tracks, and the lyric is very much about women's lib and in favour of women, so it's one of my favourites. And as I say, Paul and Linda rated it. They never did it in concert either at the time, or Paul has never done it since, which is a shame. Maybe it's a tricky one to do in concert because of the harmonies, but I don't suppose it's that tricky. So that's number 3. And number 2, we have Poor Little Girl from 1989, which I was thinking whether this was a double A side, but I don't think it is. It's actually called side A is Cheer Down, and the other side is called AA side. On Wikipedia it says it's a B side. It certainly was never promoted as a double A side. Well, neither side was really promoted at the time. I don't remember it getting much airplay, and both tracks are kind of forgotten. They both ended up on this Greatest Hits Volume 2 of George Harrison's. Anyway, if you don't allow me this track as a B-side, then I'll put Lay His Head at number 2, just straight substitute, which was released as a B-side in 1987. To me, Poor Little Girl is, if not the strongest track from the entire George period, then certainly up there with, let's say, the best tracks from the album Cloud 9 plus singles and stuff were That's What It Takes, Devil's Radio, and this one. Those would be my top 3. If I missed any, I mean, there's Fish on the Sand maybe would be up there as well. But this one's really quite a commercial song, and perhaps had it been on the album and released as the lead-off single or the second single after Got My Mind Set on You, it might have been a hit, but it was not to be. Although it sounds like Jeff Lynne is on this track, it sounds like him on backing vocals. It probably is, but it says produced by George Harrison, even though Cheer Down is produced by George Harrison and Jeff Lynne. So, yeah, to me it's got Jeff Lynne all over the track, so I don't know why he didn't get a producer's credit. But anyway, it's a beautiful song, it's catchy, it's a heartfelt lyric, and unfortunately after this was the last release from George in his lifetime. So Brainwash came out a year after he died or so. But this single, I mean, I think there was maybe Nobody's Child, the Wilburys song, and obviously the second Wilburys album came out in 1990, so not quite the last throw from George, but solo-wise, this 12-inch single, which is not a great cover, is it? It's the B-side. Not a great cover, but a worthy release, and actually I think Poor Little Girl is infinitely superior to Cheer Down as a song. So that's just my opinion. So we have come to number 1, and this didn't come in a picture sleeve. I think it did in certain countries, but I haven't got it on a picture sleeve. This is the Bangladesh single from 1971 from George, and on the B-side we have the superb track Deep Blue, which really is a gem. They're both sides credited, produced by George Harrison and Phil Spector. So the B-side is just an example of how Phil Spector doesn't have to put a wall of sound over something. If the song doesn't dictate that's what it needs, he can be very sparse in his production, and he does that. He produces Deep Blue very sensitively with George. It's a song, unfortunately, about his mum, who was, I think, had recently passed away, or was just about to pass away. Well, at the time he wrote it, but I think by the time the song was released, his mum had passed away. So that was sad, and it's a very heartfelt lyric, very nice chord changes. And again, this song could have been on All Things Must Pass. It's very personal, just of the same, absolutely of the same quality as All Things Must Pass for me, and great slide guitar all the way through the song. So a great favourite of mine, and a worthy number one. So here was the sum up of the top 10 Beatles solo B-sides. Enjoyed doing this series. Figured out what videos to do next, but I'll think of something. So thank you for watching in the meantime. See you next time.